Today we're talking about the Sigma 50 to 100 millimeter f1.8. So let's do this. What's up, YouTube? I hope you all are doing well. Today we are talking about the Sigma 50 to 100 millimeter f1.8. A couple weeks ago, I posted a review of the 18 to 35 f1.8, and one of the reasons why I posted that review when I did is because I knew that Sigma was sending me this lens to review on my channel. So with that, I'll mention that I was sent this lens from Sigma, but I'm not required to say anything specific about this lens. So you will be getting my honest opinion about this lens. And we're gonna break it down by image quality, build quality, and my overall thoughts slash who I think this may be useful for. And before I even get into image quality, I want to mention some details around this lens. First and foremost, this is an art series lens that is Sigma's photography flagship series. The other detail is that this is a crop sensor lens, and so it is designed for crop sensor cameras. The last thing I want to mention is that the version that I have is made for the Nikon F mount, and so there won't be any autofocus test as I am adapting it to my GH5 as well as my Pocket 4K. Not to mention, neither one of those is great in autofocus, so it really wouldn't be helpful anyways. Honestly, you shouldn't even be surprised at this point that I'm not doing autofocus test. It just doesn't exist on my channel. And also with it being the Nikon version of this lens, a lot of the questions I got in the 18 to 35 video is what am I using to adapt this lens to my camera? I am using both a Viltrox speed booster that's Nikon to Micro Four Thirds, as well as a passive or dummy adapter that is going to convert Nikon to Micro Four Thirds as well. With those details out of the way, let's talk about the image quality and my overall thoughts on the image quality that this lens produces. If you watch my 18 to 35 review, you should not be surprised that I'm going to say that the image quality of this lens is amazing. It is such a sharp and clean image, and on top of that, having something so sharp and clean in a telephoto lens like this is something that kind of excites me more than the 18 to 35. I mean, it kind of gave me the ability to film my own little bee documentary. That's what these lenses are used for, right? Just filming bees all day? I think so. Now, the fact that this is a Sigma Art Series lens, it should be no surprise to you that this is going to be a very sharp image. So what really excites me about this lens is the fact that it's a telephoto lens with an f1.8 aperture. That is what excites me about this lens. The fact that you get some lens compression, which already offers some separation between your subject and the background, and on top of that, the fast aperture is going to make that background just fade into the distance. Just goodbye, old friend. I'll miss you. Good luck on your travels. Like, so good. A part of my testing in this lens is I purposely chose a low light scenario to film in, and so some of these shots are in my kitchen during sunset, so there's not a lot of light going on, and I didn't add any additional light. I wanted everything to be natural lighting. The fact that I can get that low light, the f1.8 aperture in these scenarios, like, it really excites me. I know I don't talk about wedding filmmaking and wedding videography very much on the channel, but when I started testing this lens, wedding filmmakers were the first people that came to mind because of the fact that you can be in an indoor ceremony scenario or even in a reception, get those close-up candid shots, not disturb the action that's going on, get those really just real life shots, those real emotions, pull those real emotions out of the story of that day. Just really excited me. And you can do that more with this lens in normal scenarios where you'd have to go to something like a prime to get that fast aperture. So the fact that this is a telephoto lens with that fast aperture is just amazing for wedding filmmakers. So to summarize the image quality, low light bokeh beast. That didn't match up at all. Low light bokeh beast. Just mind blowing that you can get that aperture out of a telephoto lens so that you can get those really close up detailed shots in low light scenarios. That's where this lens shines. All right, moving on. So the next thing we're going to talk about is build quality. The build quality of this lens is just amazing. But the bigger thing to note about this lens is how massive this lens is. This is giant. I was having a little bit of back issues before I started filming with this lens, and then I started filming with this lens, and I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, I need to go see like a chiropractor, a masseuse, spinal tap, something, I don't know. You know, the f1.8 with the 50 to 100 it's as big as you would imagine. It is focused by wire. It does have the same hard stops that the 18-35 has as well. You have your manual and autofocus switch, but again, these features should come as no surprise, being the fact that this is an art series lens made for professional photographers. If quarantine goes south and I have to defend myself, this is coming with me. That's all I gotta say. So between the build quality and the image quality, or just general performance of the lens, what are my overall thoughts on this lens and who do I think this would be good for? Just like the 18-35, this lens produces an amazing image. Now, for some, it can be too sharp, and so you may want to get like a pro mist filter to put on the lens to cut down that sharpness just a little bit. But that's where I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know if I'd rather have a lens that's too sharp and have to use some type of filter to cut down the sharpness, or potentially have a lens that's not sharp at all, or just not sharp in places and wish that it was sharper. Honestly, I feel like at that point, I'm just complaining to complain, because I'm complaining that it's too sharp. I think overall, this lens is such an amazing lens. I think this lens pairs very nicely with the 18-35. Going back to the recommendation that wedding filmmakers use this lens, I think the 18-35 and this lens are a perfect pairing for wedding filmmaking or event filmmaking, just because you have the 18-35, which is on the wider end of things, still with the f1.8 aperture. And then when you need more reach, you have the 50-100, which is gonna offer that telephoto reach, but also having the f1.8 aperture, you don't have to worry about losing that performance in low light just because you're putting a telephoto lens on the camera. So those are the people I'd recommend this for: wedding filmmakers, event videographers, as well as people that are just like taking pictures of bees and video of bees, because that's valid. That's definitely valid. So that's it for me. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this gave you some insight on how good I think the Sigma 50-100mm f1.8 really is, and I think it's pretty darn amazing. I said darn. I don't ever say darn. Now, as I said with the 18-35 video, if you want to rent this lens and get some experience with this lens without buying it, I will be leaving an affiliate link to lens rentals, so check that out. And on the subject of supporting the channel, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. If you're digging the overall content from the channel, consider subscribing. Thank you all for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Stay safe. Be happy. Wash those hands, and I'll see you here next time. Peace. Should I do the top flag? Was that annoying? Let me know in the comments below if that was annoying last time. I'll try it again. We'll see if it works. Let's see if I actually get it right the first time. So I did it, and it didn't work because I was turning it the wrong way. Let's see. Here we go. Nope. Nope. Oh, yep. There we... Nope. Okay. I think I just broke my camera. All right. All right. Moving on. I don't know what's happening right now. Okay. I'm getting the coffee sweats. Okay. All right. All right. Moving on.